Let's talk about what Iran is doing to Israel, because that story has developed with alarming new detail in the last 12 hours. Here is the timeline of confirmed Iranian strikes on Israeli territory since February 28th in chronological order. Day 1, February 28th. A woman in the Tel Aviv area was killed by an Iranian missile strike. She has since been identified as a Philippine national. 22 other people were injured in the same attack, one seriously. At least 40 buildings in Tel Aviv were damaged, according to Haaretz, citing the Tel Aviv city government. An Israeli police report confirmed that one building received a direct hit in Tel Aviv on day 1. Day 2, March 1st, an Iranian ballistic missile struck a synagogue and surrounding residential buildings in Beit Shemesh, a city in central Israel with a large religious population. 9 people were killed. 49 were injured. Iranian parliamentary speaker Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf said in a televised address, "You have crossed our red line and must pay the price." Rescue workers spent the following 24 hours searching rubble for survivors. Day 3, March 2nd, Iran shifted its munitions. In what the Times of Israel confirmed from IDF sources and Israeli police officials, some of the impacts in central Israel from the latest Iranian missile barrage were from cluster bomb warheads, ballistic missiles whose warheads opened during descent, scattering approximately 20 smaller submunitions each, carrying around 2.5 kilograms of explosives across a radius of approximately 8 kilometers. The IDF confirmed that Iran has now used cluster bomb warheads in both this conflict and in the June 2025 war. Israeli police Tel Aviv district commander Haim Sargaroff told reporters that impacts were reported at multiple locations across central Israel. Magen David Adom, Israel's National Emergency Medical Service, reported treating 3 people for light injuries. Separately, on March 2nd, one woman was confirmed killed by shrapnel from an Iranian missile in Tel Aviv during an earlier strike, bringing Day 3's civilian death toll in Tel Aviv to at least 1 killed and multiple wounded. Day 4, March 3rd, this morning, Reuters and Al Monitor confirmed fresh Iranian missile strikes in the Tel Aviv area, with Israeli police reporting munition fragment impacts across the Tel Aviv district. Magen David Adom said 3 people were being treated for light injuries. The Israeli army said it was intercepting a new wave of Iranian missiles. Sirens have been sounding continuously across northern and central Israel, including Haifa. Israel's airspace remains closed. Transportation Minister Miri Regev told reporters that civil aviation authorities are preparing a phased reopening starting next week, subject to security conditions. Beyond Israel, the regional infrastructure damage is now reaching sectors that most people would not have anticipated at the start of this war. Saudi Aramco shut down the Ras Tanura refinery, one of the single largest crude oil processing facilities in the world, processing more than 500,000 barrels per day after Iranian drones struck the site and caused a blaze. Saudi air defenses intercepted 2 drones targeting the refinery, but the facility has been taken offline. Times of Israel and CNBC both confirmed the shutdown Monday evening. The energy market implications are immediate. Oil supertanker rates have risen to all-time highs following Iran's declaration that the Strait of Hormuz is closed to unauthorized crossings, confirmed by CNBC's markets reporting. CENTCOM disputed that the strait is fully closed, but 150 tankers have dropped anchor in open Gulf waters and are not moving. The U.S. dollar index has risen almost 1%, continuing a build driven by safe haven flows, while global risk assets are selling off. Amazon Web Services published an update to its official health dashboard on Monday, confirming that 2 of its data centers in the United Arab Emirates were directly struck by Iranian drones, causing extensive damage and taking both facilities offline. A 3rd AWS data center in Bahrain was damaged by a nearby drone strike. AWS is the world's largest cloud computing provider. The drones that took down AWS data centers in the UAE are the same category of weapons that struck the U.S. Embassy in Riyadh, that hit Camp Baird, the Australian Defence Force headquarters in the Middle East, and that have been raining down on 6 Gulf states for 4 consecutive days. Australia's Defence Minister Richard Marles confirmed Tuesday that Australian personnel at Camp Baird at Al Minhad Air Base near Dubai were safe and accounted for after Iranian drones struck the Australian military facility. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky, whose country has been absorbing Russian missile and drone attacks for 3 years, said Ukraine would explore how it might help the UAE protect itself from Iranian drone attacks, an offer that would have seemed inconceivable as recently as last week. The UAE and Qatar, both of which have been struck repeatedly, both of which host the largest American military installations in the region, and both of which are running out of interceptor missiles, are now working through diplomatic back channels to convince Trump to end the war as rapidly as possible. Bloomberg confirmed that both governments are telling allies that the conflict could spiral out of hand and drive energy prices higher for an extended period. Their air defenses, Bloomberg reported, are running low. The Times of Israel confirmed that Trump's response as of Tuesday morning is, "Iranians want to talk. I said it's too late." Iran's Assembly of Experts building in Qom, the clerical body constitutionally required to select Khamenei's successor, has been struck by U.S. and Israeli aircraft, according to Tasnim, Iran's semi-official news agency, confirmed by Times of Israel. The building was severely damaged in the strikes. An Assembly of Experts member told CNBC-cited Iranian state media that appointing Khamenei's successor won't take long. The war has now reached the very institution that must determine who leads Iran next. This is day 4. 2 U.S. embassies struck. 2 Iranian Su-24 bombers shot down by Qatar. Cluster bombs hitting Tel Aviv, the world's largest oil refinery, offline. 3 Amazon cloud computing centers down. Australian forces confirmed hit. UAE and Qatar running low on interceptor missiles and begging Washington to stop. The war is widening. The infrastructure damage is global, and the United States has no ceasefire and no exit plan that anyone in Washington will publicly describe. Stay with us.